Hi guys, welcome back to another unboxing video with Thomas. We've got something very interesting today, and I'm super parched, so I'm going to be enjoying a Nazgul in the meantime. Cheers guys. Oh, so nice. Delicious. Right, so this keyboard I got at Clackycon yesterday, and ironically, it was actually promised to me several years ago at another Clackycon, and I guess we just forgot or something, or it didn't happen for some reason. But now they gave me one anyway. They know my reputation for ergonomic keyboards, by the way. And this particular one is the Charybdis Nano model, which I must admit I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head which one that is, but the brand is called Bastard Keyboards, which, you know, is maybe a little bit indicative. So let's have a look. Take some of this. Clackycon was very interesting again, by the way. Ran into loads of projects that I want to cover, and I'm going to cover as well, in one of them in the near future. That's the Charybdis thing, which I also found out about at Clackycon at an earlier edition, as it happens. So there we go. So this is the assembled version. It says on the front. I guess you can also, yeah, you can also get it as a DIY kit. So here it says basically what's been assembled and whatnot. I hope that's legible on the camera, but it doesn't matter too much. Like 2 keyboard halves, spare, blah blah blah, trackball, whatnot, solder joints, that sort of stuff. Let's see, some spare switches, I guess. Looks like Gateron yellows, and some bolts. What is this? Peri Pro 34mm trackball. Interesting. I guess that still has to be installed then. And then a load of stuff with bubble wrap. Let's go have a look. I don't know if they had this pre-pack lying around Clackycon, or whether they just wrapped it up into a box for me while I was there. I kind of suspect the latter, but I could be wrong. So it's not entirely pre-built, I think, or maybe these are just the stands. I think these might just be the stands. They look very, yeah, they're clearly 3D printed. That's okay. I saw a lot of 3D printed stuff at Clackycon, by the way, that really is taking off in the keyboard scene. Not just a layer printed like that, I forgot what that's called, you know, with a filament or whatnot, but also cured resin stuff. Seeing that a lot more nowadays as well. So there we go. Yeah, this looks like the actual keyboard, and I think, yeah, this must be just put together as something, because I don't think it actually has things like a cable and whatnot. So I think they just put it together on the spot for me, which I kind of suspected. Also doesn't have keycaps on it, but I think they did. Come to think of it, I think they did mention that. That should be okay though. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah, I think they didn't have any keycaps left or something like that. That was the idea. Cool. So let's take out the track bowl somehow. Okay, I'm not patient enough for this. There you go. Trackballs somehow always make me think of those really old mice that had a ball in the bottom. You remember, you had to constantly clean them as well. It was a nightmare. But I think trackballs don't really have that problem as much. So that goes in here. Looks like an optical reader of some description. It does have rollers in it, but they're probably not sensing rollers. I didn't know that trackballs nowadays used an optical assembly. But I guess it makes sense. It's good that they moved on from the independent rotors that feel where the trackball is going, like those old mice I just talked about. So let's see, how does this work? Does it need this? What? How? Okay, so I think this half is supposed to be here or something. Maybe it's an exchangeable. Yeah, I think this is exchangeable. So at the moment it's got a low profile bottom on it. And I think this is the high profile bottom version. So if you want to tilt the, let's call it the keyboard way more, about yay more actually, then this is what allows you to do so. You just need to screw out this part and then exchange it with that. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. Although this looks like such an aggressive tilt. My God, I know I'm not really at home in ergonomics land or anything, but this is just wow. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so what? Let's determine which side it's supposed to be on. Get rid of that. How I'm not even sure what orientation it's supposed to be in. Okay, so would it be something like this? Or maybe more like this or something. In which case this would be like that. I don't know. So you can clearly tell I'm not an authority on ergonomic keyboards. Quite the opposite. I've tested quite a few of them by now, but I think I've basically raped every single one of them. Yeah, I think if I had to guess, I think it was something like this. Yeah, at least I think this looks like the least hostile idea. But in that case, your hand is over the trackball constantly. So I think it's very difficult to type on it without touching the trackball. So I hope you're using something that doesn't rely on, well, it's not affected by quick mouse movements while you're typing. Yeah, that's weird. I must be doing something wrong. It's probably like that or something, or maybe no, this doesn't look right. How would you ever reach these? No, I think this was right. This is something. Well, I guess I can do I can do whatever I want, right? But interesting. So the keyboard looks like it uses only single unit keys, so to speak, and very few of them, by the way. It's only 35, very minimalist. So with single unit keycaps, I'll probably pick something uniprofile and stick them on as soon as I've determined the the layout this is programmed in. And I think that's where the port is. Looks like USB-C, and it does also have a connector, which looks a little bit like aux or something. So, okay, does it have a connector cable? Because it looks like it either needs. Stay here. Like it either needs USB-C between the two halves, or an aux cable between the two, which I'm guessing is the latter, because how the hell would you otherwise connect it to the keyboard? It doesn't look wireless. If it does, I can't see a battery. It's interesting that you can look inside the guts of your keyboard like this. Yeah, so I think I'm missing this aux cable to connect the two halves. But we'll see. I guess when this video comes out, they'll probably respond to something. I do actually have just a standard aux cable here lying around. Just a 3.5mm one, which I think might be the right. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if this actually works. Okay, surely I'm not going to deep fry the keyboard just by connecting it with an aux cable, right? So let me see. Does this work? Setting up device. Okay, that looks Charybdis Nano 3x5 Splinky. Apparently it's a Splinky, whatever that is. Okay, let's test it out. Okay, mouse is not working. Some of the keys are okay. This one is working. Oh, the keys are very insensitive. Okay, no, it's working a bit better now. I think it's just I'm not really used to typing directly on switches, so it feels weird. But I think, yeah, it is actually working. It's fine. Okay, but it's not communicating to this half. Yeah, this half is completely oh no, this does work now. Trackball's not working. These switches are not doing anything. That's it. This one works, that one works, this one, that one. I have no idea what this layout is, obviously. So this is B, V, C, X. So it's kind of in the opposite way around. So I'm probably supposed to use it. No, because this is still bottom row. Oh my god, what is this layout, guys? Help me, help me, help me. That's Z. This is nothing. Q, W, E, R, T. Okay, so I think it's like, yeah, I think this is this is how it's supposed to work. T. It just looks mirrored somehow. So this is Q and that's B. So, but okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, and this whole middle row doesn't look like it's doing anything. Weird. I'll have to test it out when I've got some actual time for it. One thing I wanted to show you guys, which I remember now, I saw that at the convention when they first presented it. I think it was much more of a prototype at that time. And I thought was really elegant was the PCB, and I think you can probably see it. Yeah, you see it slightly better with this one. So I hope you can see it under the angle. It's got a curved PCB, and they did it in a really interesting way. So they made cutouts in the circuit board to allow it to flex a little bit. And then they just mounted the switches in that, so it's yeah, it's a really quite interesting design. I was talking to someone else during the meetup who wanted to make an ergonomic capacitive board with Topra switches, and he wanted to do bent rows as well. And I tried to to describe exactly this system to him, saying, you know, maybe try something like this. Because he had a fairly complicated plan off the top of my head with strips. Well, maybe not complicated, but not quite as sculpted as this. Because if you look at the keyboard, it's actually very sculpted in all 3 dimensions. Right. So anyway, I'll have to toy around with this a little bit, give it some keycaps, and make it actually look like something. But I'm glad to see that it's at least working. I don't even know what keyboard this cable is from, but I'm glad I got it. So, yeah, I think that's about it, because I've been waffling for quite a while now. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.